music. Yeah, I'm on a move again. Right now, I'm in a eat for a win. Putting it on for a hillside. Liberian boy going in. Don't check me because I'm grown now. I'm hustling for my own mind. Just open your ear and listen. I hotter than Arizona. I shine it like California. My love is for who will love me. This world can be so ugly, but we stand tall, all for one and one for all. And I will call you when it is time to ball. I promise, I promise, I promise, I promise you. I promise, I promise you. I promise, I promise you.
Hey there, pretty people, hope you're having a good day. Never let the negativity ever get in your way. Who's that? Looking in the mirror, you're beautiful. Jersey girl, but I take the road so I can grow. It's Tiale, I make the boys go loud. No fighting in the party. Me and I get to marry. Hey, no party, just let them fight. We dance it to not to left. The DJ, that superstar, refusing to let us rest. Hey, no party, just let them fight. We dance it to not to left. The DJ, that superstar, refusing to let us rest. It's Tiale.
Check me because I'm grown up. I'm hustling for my own mind. Just open your ear and listen. I'm hotter than Arizona.
Can't do me looking swagged up.
Hey,
Certified with the cash up.
oh boy,
Talking about who did what.
so what, so what?
Can't do me looking swagged up.
Hey,
Certified with the cash up.
oh
Talking
boy,
about who did what.
so what, 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 so what? Hey, 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 certified music.
How long has this business been in operation?
We've been in business for about 5 years now.
How has the cooperation of the community been?
It's been pretty much supportive, not just Africans, but also our brothers and sisters, the African American community also been supportive, as well as other African and even other nationalities. So far, so good. We've been having a lot of support from different ethnic groups and different nationalities.
and welcome to Attorney Commander Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Today is Saturday, November 12th. Sometimes I forget, but to all of you who have birthdays out there, happy birthday. To all of you who have christenings and baby showers and whatever you may have up there, have fun today. It's 70 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island, and it's been raining. When I got up, it was raining last night. So let's see what's going to take us today. But whatever it's going to be, take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. Seat belts, please. So, we know that in the United States of America, we're still running behind this midterm election and who's going to control the Congress. The Republicans or the Democrats are so tight and close, this race to control Congress, and President Biden talking about running for another term and all of that, We're waiting for the news from Donald Trump as to whether he's going to run again. We know that we wake up with news that he just sued the January 6th committee for trying to get his records, for trying to summon him to testify. And all these things, man, we got a whole lot of gumble going on around here. Okay, so let's just hang in there. And from my poor Liberia, man, hey Lord, I will get into my country. We got this morning with news that the House Speaker Buffer Chambers, the Foreign Minister Maxwell Kemaya, and one senior immigration officer were caught by the task force on the electricity, Mary Bro and her group, for stealing electricity. How can our whole Speaker of the House, knowing that this thing is going to be run by Mary Bro, the task force, catching people with wires running from their houses, then the Speaker of the House, he ain't got no, or they say they don't have no meters. So that means they're stealing electricity because there is no way for the LEC to determine how much electricity they're using if they don't have meter in their houses. So Kemaya don't have meter in his house. The Speaker don't have meter in his house. So that's illegal BS. Our highest government officials getting $15,000, $20,000 a month. All the immunities of government, free cars and all these things, then they're still stealing electricity. These people need to go to jail. We'll talk about that. Because what's wrong, man? What's wrong? But my topics for this morning are, we're going to deal with that. My topics for this morning are, because of President George Weah Government's disappointments and failures, Liberians cannot let our country fail. No, we cannot. 2, started on yesterday, November 11, and scheduled to end on November 22nd, 2022. The 2022 National Population and Housing Census must go on to its successful completion. And we'll talk about that. Those are my 2 topics for this morning. Let's take a break, listen to our sponsors, and I'll be right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Attorney Commander Glapohkpa Chesson. This morning, I'm in Seacon on Thornton Avenue at Sarcastic Suites. I'm here with the proprietor. Ma'am, could you introduce yourself to us and tell us how long you've been here?
So my name is Nina Reed. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska, but I've had the store here in I had it based in Rhode Island for 10 years, where I had my food truck, and this is our first year in Seekonk, Massachusetts. So we've been here for a full year as of August 19th.
So tell us about Sarcastic Sweets.
So, what to tell you about Sarcastic Sweets? We started out as a food truck. We do custom orders, cakes, weddings, pickups, deliveries, birthday parties, colleges, fundraisers, churches, very important to me. We do all of those types of events, but then we were finally able to get a store through a lot of savings and fundraising and things like that here in Seekonk, Massachusetts. So we still service Rhode Island quite a bit, but we also service a lot of Massachusetts. And we have the bakery portion, which is Sarcastic Sweets, and the Alaska Treehouse portion of things, which is the breakfast, lunch, smoothies, cafe portion of things. So you can come in and do your work like an internet cafe, or you can have breakfast with your family, or lunch. We do breakfast all day, because in Alaska you can have breakfast any time of the day. Any time of the day could be breakfast. Pastries, movie, special orders.
This is fantastic.
Because President George Weah Government has disappointed us and has failed us. We are patriots of our country. We are patriots of our country. We cannot let Liberia fail. You know, it's been bothering me so much. How did our country get so low? How our country breeds so many criminals to become leader of our nation? I mean, it's so terrible. The lies, the conflicting reports coming from our officials. We can't trust nothing in the country now. Even the reports of how many people going with the president, we can't trust it. Some people say 50, some people say 15, some people say 20. I mean, it's unbelievable. And we are footing the bill for all of this. For 7 weeks of the president travel, we're footing it. And the foreign minister, not the foreign minister, the finance minister doesn't even know how to give us the right amount of how much they're spending on this trip. I mean, it's so sad when our finance minister can just sit on TV and just lie. Then he come up with the arrogant approach to things when he doesn't want to answer the question or when he's choked. I mean, it's so sad. It's so sad. But what bless us today, man, what is a blessing for us today is that we can challenge our leaders in the public with the hope that those people doing it in Liberia will not be killed or run after. We know Prince Johnson tried to kill Representative Suakoko Dennis. She accused him of that. So once she accused that kind of man, you know that man is a killer. Prince Johnson is a ruthless, evil, wicked killer that say he's a lawmaker. What kind of man that lawmaker? How can I respect that kind of man? That man is a murderer. Useless man. No matter how he tells us the truth, he needs to resign and go in jail for his crimes. And we're trying to fight for that. We're trying to fight for that. But how can we trust anything? The news coming out of our country, thank God for Spoon TV too, because they have access to bring these people on. You know they're not coming on my show. they would throw an axe at me. So at least they can bring them on and we can hear and comment on their statements. But it's sad, man. It's sad that we have gotten to this stage where people will just rip our government money off You listen to President Doe and all the other podcasters talking about how these people are looting our treasury. And it's true. They're looting our coffers. And it's so sad. It's so sad. But yet, and still, we cannot give up on Liberia. That our only hope, man, that our only country, that our only love. We can't give up on that nation. If we give up on that nation, who do we expect to lift our nation up? Nobody is coming to do it. You know, so I was thinking about the thing, even with this census thing, I will talk about it in my second lesson. We can't give up on our country. We must bring these people to book. Just as we cannot give up on Liberia, we must continue to expose these people and challenge them in the open. Because that's the only way our country will change. You know, we must challenge these people that the only way the rule of law will return to our country, even though it's never been there so much. But at least it was far better than what it is now. And we cannot let the civilized standards of our country drop. No. But it's too bad as it is right now. It's just too bad. And as a people, we have a constitutional duty. By signing that constitution, it is a demonstration of our love for this social contract that we have put together to live in harmony and peace with each other. Not for peace sake. Not for peace sake, but for the sake of peace. Not for peace sake, but for the sake of peace. They're two different things. When they for peace sake, we're going back to our old corrupt habits or trying to cover up our laws, our corrupt practices, our evil doings for peace sake. So we can have peace. No. For peace sake and for the sake of peace. For the sake of peace means that we follow our laws and our constitution that guarantees us peace. Not through for peace sake, but for through the implementation, the respect, and obedience of our constitution and laws. We have peace for the sake of peace, but not for peace sake. No, that's not why we do it for peace sake. We do it for the sake of peace. So I hope you understand the two distinctions. When we say for peace sake, we go back to our old Liberia corrupt habits, where we try to cover everything for peace sake. All the corrupt things, even that going on today. Why do you think Liberian people can't talk? Why do you think we're silent and passive in seeing all these people rob everything we got in our lives for peace sake? No, we don't want it for peace sake. We want our laws to be implemented, our constitution to be obeyed and followed to the letter for the sake of peace. So my people, that's the challenge we have. I talk about this challenge in one of my lessons, and we still have this challenge. Because for us to rise and change our nation, for us to bring new ideals and fresh blood into our system of leadership, we must be ready to accept change. And with that change comes the challenge for us to change our own ways. Can we change our own ways? Can we accept the fact that our country has broken down so bad that if we don't change our ways, our leadership ways will not change? It got to start with us. If we, the people, love our nation, and we, the people, who are responsible for the progress and advancement of the nation by selecting good and viable leaders to lead us into a new dimension. If we, the people, cannot accept our own responsibilities as citizens of the Republic of Liberia, under the Constitution which we have signed to fulfill our social contract of unity, solidarity, and friendship for the sake of peace. If we cannot assure that this nation survives despite the fact that we have made mistakes, nobody is infallible. Nobody, no group is infallible. We are a group. We made a mistake. Yes. We came out of war. The mistake didn't start with Ellen. Ellen Sally Johnson wasn't a mistake. The mistake came from 1980 when we decided to overthrow our government. When we draw and shouted, yes, it's time for change. Sometimes it was. It was time for change. It was. But was that kind of change justifiable? I cannot say that. I'm a political scientist. I evaluate situation and try to make prognostications on what will occur. But I don't have the power to determine what the people themselves have decided. Only time can decide that. When the people will rise, when the people will be tired, that they will move together. We can't say when. That's nature. It's divine. When the people are tired, they are tired. Nobody can say, oh, the people are tired, let's move. I see you're tired, let's move. No. Nobody can say that. It's just time. Look at all the things that are going on in our country. The people are tired with it. But our people are patient. Our people are law-abiding. Our people are for peace-sake people. Our people love our leaders and each other. So in spite of all what has happened in our country, we still care about ourselves as a society, as a unit. So we sit and watch all these things go on. But when we get tired, nobody will know when we get tired. Nobody will know. Even me as a political scientist, I could predict the feeling of the Liberian people. Before 1980, I could tell people, oh, we're coming to riot, we're coming to do this. And I was sure 98% of the time we'll riot later on. But I've been in the country so long, we've been through war, and our people are war weary. We don't want no more war. So to predict my society right now as to whether it will turn violent or it will remain passive, or it's all to the nature, to God. Because our society now, nobody can really tell the temperament of our society. Nobody can tell when the people will uprise. Some of the people were tired with the mess George Weah doing, but many people don't want war. Many people want peace. So how do we deal with this dilemma? We have a dilemma. We have a government that is stealing from us, breaking our coffers down, breaking our country down. We're taking all money away and playing with it like their own money. And perhaps it is their belief that the more they break our country down financially, the more opportunity they will have to lead our country, because we have nobody else. We have no money, nowhere to turn. We have to keep them in power to see if they can bring help back. That one strategy. You know, if the other strategy is they take all the money and run and leave us stranded. So we don't know which way this is going. That's why right now I resign myself to just sit and watch. Because with the massive stealing going on in our country, and on top of it, the president leaving the country for 7 weeks, say he going out of the country when we are in a crisis. No money, no rights, no pay for the people. All the kind of things going on, the president going on. So and the Liberian people just hanging in the balance. So I cannot tell the temperament of my people no more. You know, we are not united in our feelings and our thoughts. We're not thinking on the same line now. Everybody got their own mentality. Everybody want follow their own party, their own this and that. So we are just discombobulated. So to feel the temperament of the Liberian people right now is hard. Even as a political scientist, it's hard. I'm even more confused than before. You know, because we're supposed to be moving in a positive direction, but everything just seems to be broken down. And our people seem to be more confused than ever because of all these political parties. Yes, we wanted all the political parties we wanted. Now our country seems to be so more divided than ever before that we'll never be able to bring our country back together. Because instead of following institutions, we're following people. When these people move and other people go there, will we still follow those parties? Will we still be loyal to those parties? It's questionable. Or will we switch to other people that we trust, that we know? So we can't really feel the temperament of the Liberian people. Except you're in Liberia and you can try it. But Liberia today is not only the people in Liberia now. Because the people in Liberia are handicapped. Right now, most of the independent news and issues dealing with our country coming from out of Liberia, into Liberia. Look at all the podcasters got connection in Liberia, got news people coming out of Liberia. So people in Liberia, how much news can we really rely on for truth and veracity? Not much. But we can rely on Spoon TV, we can rely on Costa, we can rely on Rodney Chesson, we can rely on other people to bring us the news. Because we're not into the situation. We're out of the situation, looking in, evaluating what's going on, bringing guests on the show. And it's so good that, you see, people that Spoon TV can bring people on the show that people that Costa and me and other people can't bring on the show because they will not come. No matter how much we invite them, they will not come. Because they know the kind of questions, one, our ideas differ to them, we choke them, our independence is there. We ain't going to compromise our independence. You know, look at Mariah and all those people on Spoon TV. They bring that kind of strength to that show because of the questioning of the guests and not relenting, not backing down, not being afraid to ask those kind of tough questions. You know, in Liberia, people will be afraid to ask Santua all those kind of questions. Look at you on Team Mike show. Yes, they were asking tough questions, but people were trying to cut them off. They were fighting among themselves, you know. So when you got that kind of debate, tough debate in Liberia, it can't happen because those people got too much power in Liberia and clout. But for international net, when you're dealing with an international group, even you in Liberia, you own that international group, it empowers you to want to challenge these people too. Because there's some sort of security in the numbers of the people that are watching you and that the show is from abroad. So that's another dimension to what we're dealing with. So all these things impacting our nation today. And we can't let our country fail. All the disappointments, all the letdowns, all the heartaches, all the killings, we know it. But we can't turn away. We got to talk about it. We got to empower our people to stand up and speak up. Just that we in the diaspora are doing here, we got to be able to do it at home. We got to be able to do it. And not only do it, when we do it, we got to be able to ensure that it impacts the policies of the government. It impacts the situation of the government. Because we are enlightened. Our minds are open. We're dealing with our laws and our personalities and idiosyncrasies. People, issues and personal issues. No, we're not dealing with those kind of things. You see me when I come in and talk, I don't got hate tracking anybody. But I will tell you exactly what you need to know. Because if it's wrong, it's my responsibility. And if it's wrong, No matter where it is, I gotta step back. I gotta say, no, I can't stay in this situation because somebody is violating the law. Somebody is violating decent policies. And they know it's wrong. And when you know it's wrong and you violate these things, you can't elevate our country to the next level. You can't free the minds of our people. You keep us stagnated and impoverished. The wealth is all around us. All of us can be wealthy. We ain't got to go to no special extent to be wealthy. We just need an honest, trustworthy government that will rule our country truthfully under the rule of law. That's all. Stop the stealing, stop the corruption, minimize these things. Make an effort to do it because it's hard to stop corruption. Our country is so big and vast, the government is so big and vast. Maybe people doing corruption in Nima, you don't know what happened in Monrovia. But at least if the government make a definite and positive action to eliminate corruption, things will change in our country. Things will change. We may not want to hear these things, but I got to continue beating it in your heads because it's not juju, it's not magic, it's not alien production or anything. It's our will, our power as people of the Republic of Liberia, being able to stand up for what we believe in and how we want to see our nation prosper and grow. It is our responsibility. And if we can't handle it, let's just drop the ball. We can't handle it, let's just drop the ball. Okay? So that's my point on this topic. We are the masters. We are the leaders. We are the stakeholders of everything that goes on in the West African Republic of Liberia. For too long, we have neglected our responsibilities. Why? Because people have taken us astray from our education, from our enlightenment, from our direction. And now that we've been through all these difficult stages in our lives, we are seeing our people killed needlessly and die with impunity for the evils of others. We got to become enlightened sometime. We got to become wise sometime. We got to want to change this kind of living sometime because it's not productive. It's not conducive for us. So how do we do it? We must rise. We must have a renaissance, a Liberian renaissance, where we renew everything and focus on moving from the old age and doing things of the obsolete era and coming into the modern, more productive rule of law and law-abiding era of Liberian dispensation. We got to do it. And for us to do it, we don't have to only do it together. We got to do it with a changed mind, with the acceptance of the fact that in order for us to change, difficult decisions have to be made, people have to be punished, examples have to be set, and the rule of law have to be laid down as the fundamental direction for peace or for the sake of peace in our nation. And if we don't do these things, especially if we don't realize that for us to change our country, we got great challenges to face. And we got to face them like men and women. We got to face them like men and women because we got a real good leadership that wants to make us self-sufficient and lead us in a different direction. It is one thing to bring peace in our country and to let us just live like the way we're doing, so depending on foreigners to feed us, to give us. We don't have to depend on foreigners to show that we love them. We don't have to depend on America for everything in our lives to show that we stand with America. I stand with America any day, but I want some sort of freedom. I want government in everything I do. I want government sticking hands in every aspect of my life. And if you don't want that, that means you got to stand up and have some sort of independence. away from government, where government will not touch you. Say, yes, government, we respect the law, we respect all of that, but we don't want you in our day-to-day affairs. We can handle it. You just be there. We got trouble, we'll call you. You see, when we alleviate some of the controls of government over us, because our desire to work together, to set rules for ourselves that we will follow, and not only follow if we have difficulties, we'll use the courts, not the government. We'll use the courts of the Republic of Liberia to resolve our issues. We'll not run to the government. Because when you run to the government, you take the things out of private people's hands and put it in the public hands. And sometimes putting our issues in the public hands is not what we want. So in order for us to keep our issues privately in our own hands, we take issues to the court. That's what the court is there for. It is a mechanism for resolving issues and problems. To avoid us calling government official or reporting to this captain or these people having military or other people involved in our personal affairs. We go to the court. But when our whole system is compromised, who can we go to? Who can we go to? Because the court's supposed to be public and private. There are times the issue of the court will be made public, and there are many times the issue of the court stay private. That's why in Liberia, especially in our laws, we never permitted cameras and all these things in our courts, and it's still tight. I think only the judges can permit that, and they try not to do it because many cases from the court got to remain private because everything is not a public issue. If the parties want to make their issue public, that's their business. And if the court permit it, that's their business. Sometimes the court will say no. So let me end on this topic. But I just wanted to impress upon us why it is a challenge to us and our children and everybody for us to change our country and change our minds. Because it will be difficult. It will be difficult. Because if you don't accept things, you will never be at peace. You got to accept it physically and mentally and spiritually. That there are challenges we must meet to change our country. There are people that must be severely punished to set examples to change our country. We cannot change our country. There is no country in this world can say they're changing the system and that the people will are punishing people. Because punishment is an example of showing people that wrong was done. And in order to correct the wrong, these people who did the wrong must pay for it because that's the reason of the law. That's the purpose of the law. The law is there. So if we violate it, it can be also used to make us whole again. Okay? Because when you hurt us, you take something from us. Like the way these people stealing from us right now, they're taking all our future from us. How many children are going to school right now not getting good education? That's our future. How many students today even want to go to school? No teachers, no English teachers, no biology teachers. The teachers, they're not up to standards. Some of the schools way backward, they don't even go to school there once a week in Liberia. So what are you learning? You can't really learn nothing. So it's a challenge too. It's a challenge. Everything is a challenge for us. So we have to decide, my people. That's our destiny, that's our future. Everything lies in what we do today. And if we don't do it right, we don't set the right standards, we try to change Liberia and say, oh, we'll change Liberia, but we can't punish people, it will never work. Because punishment is the biggest source of deterrence. If you want to stop things in our country, people got to be punished. There is no way we can change our country without punishing people for the crimes they committed. So if y'all want to violate the war crimes code and say, oh, we don't want war crimes code, we'll do this, we'll talk, we'll sit there and talk it will never work. It will never work. I kill people in nations and villages and burn people and rape people and do all kind of wicked things to people. Then I tell you, y'all don't punish me. I will not happen again. Oh, let's sit there and talk it. You think the next generation of people who see this happen will sit down and say, oh, we'll follow that? No. You piss down all the going to violence because in the end they will know we got to sit down and talk it. We have already set a precedence that when you kill people and all of that, the solutions for all to sit down and talk, not to punish people. But that's not right. The evil will continue. You got to stop evil. And to stop evil, you got to punish people. When the punishment starts, you know the punishment can't stop. Because if the next crime happens and you don't punish them, people say, oh, well, how you punish my grandfather and my sister for something that they did and you don't punish these people? Right there, we have a new dimension of reasons for making change. Okay? Instead of for impunity, now it's for punishment. Why you punish these people, you punish the other people? Let me end my class here so I can do my last topic for this morning. I hope you have a good Saturday because I'm enjoying it.
We got something.
Run Your Form Fitness. I do all my training here at Fit First with my cousin Jovan. I specialize in 50 and over clients with functional movement. And I do other clients too, younger groups. I do kids also, but I specialize in functional movement and working with older clients and seniors and getting them to move constantly. You got to keep moving. If we're not moving, we're losing, team. You know what I mean? So Your Form Fitness, we started to correct people's form. When you start out with good form, you usually get good results. So come check us out at Fit First. We are
from Fit First RI, located 1655 Elmwood Ave, Princeton, Rhode Island. We take care of all your personal training needs. We have 7 trainers here, including 2 boxing trainers. So whatever your goals, we can help you out. Come through, hit us up 401-588-9517. We are Fit First RI on Instagram and all social media platforms.
Okay, my people, this census started yesterday. The National Population Housing Census started yesterday. Our foreign partners and our facilitators and enumerators have invested a lot of time in preparing themselves for this thing. It's a necessity. Whether that George Weah government or not, any government that comes to power needs to know how many people will got in our country, in the various counties, in the various localities, for us to achieve effective national development. Someday soon, maybe in the next 10 years, when we get good leadership, and our leadership invests in diversifying the population again, making sure people leave Monrovia and go to the counties where we need people. Right now, Liberia is Monrovia. The majority of our people in Monrovia and its environs. And that's why we can't do nothing effectively in Monrovia because it's overpopulated. It's overrun. And that program you try to do, it will be destroyed. So for us to really change Liberia right now, we got to start from the interior. We can't start from Monrovia. We got to attract the people from Monrovia to go up country to the counties. How we going to do that? We're going to have an effective national development program that will impact all the nation's county, especially the far-reaching counties. Grand Gila, Maryland, Lofa, Nimba, Kipma. Let the people get out of Monrovia, go back to the county. We got to develop effective national programs to encourage these people to leave the city, for us to do real development in our country. Or else we have to change our capital city from Monrovia. As it is right now, we can't do real development in Monrovia. It's too overpopulated. It's too overpopulated. Look at that national park right now. That national park will soon break down because how many people go there to use it? Is it safe? Is it clean water enough for people to be going and swimming in and all the things in it? Do people enjoy the park when they go there? Do they get enough time to play and participate in the fairs there? Or is it too crowded? Everybody want to do their own thing. How are they managing the population of the people that are coming from all over Liberia want to go to the national park? So we got to focus on national development. If our people love entertainment, we need to build sports stadiums in all the counties. Yeah, that will create jobs. That will take people out of the county. We like sporting, let's build stadiums. That will give jobs. But let's build modern stadium where when we play games, people will have concession stands. People will be able to buy, rent stores and things in the stadium where game or no game, people will go to the stadium. People want to participate in the fairs in the stadium. The stadium will be open to daily basketball, soccer, table tennis, volleyball. We have different sorts of entertainment there for the sporting arena, for the sporting national sports, where we can train people to do different things. But we got to do something to attract the people to get out of the city. And all of this can't be done by the government. We got to work hand in hand, not with foreign people, with even private people who got money. We can't continue to think foreigners. There are certain things we can do on our own. And we got to take the initiative to find these people that got money that can help us, that we can reach out to and give them the idea, encouragement to want to help us do things in our own county. But it takes work. We can't sit there and just hope that government will do everything for us or the international community. No. We got to want to take initiatives too. And some of the things we need to invest in sport. Because sport will help us diversify our country. One, sport does not have to be done by government alone. It can be done by private people. Right now in Liberia, we need different private things. We need a bike race. We need a canoe race. We need swimming contests. We need boxing contests. All these competitions we need to generate money. And all of them cannot be done in Monrovia. We got Patawi, also that Patawi River. We got to see how people can navigate that river with canoe so we can do races on it. Rapid. That's controlling the rapids. Going over the rocks with a canoe and stuff like that. We got to look to see if we can use the Bourgeois Island and all these places right in Monrovia there to have canoe races, boat races, and all these things. We need bicycle races right in the city. We don't need government to do that. That's one of the things I want to do right now when I come to Liberia. I want to have a bicycle race. I'm announcing it right now. When I come to Liberia, we're going to have the Benjamin Green Freeman national bicycle race. And the award would be $10,000. I decided how much the price should be to enter. Maybe $5 Liberian. But everybody can have a bicycle. Everybody will register. Everybody will have a number. We have people all along the way to make sure people, it will be a 20-mile ride. And wherever the ride ends will be a big party. We have a big party with food, drinks, everything. And there will be a yearly event because my grandfather means a great deal to Liberia. And I got to resurrect his name because his people don't have the ability to do that. They're too bitter and evil to each other to even think of the greatness of my grandfather to Liberia and the Liberian people. So people like us who not imbued with all this bitterness going on in Liberia, all this greed and hatred, we got to come back and resurrect those people that really meant something to Liberia that were silent. You don't hear my grandfather name everywhere. My grandfather was Speaker of the House of Representatives. He brought all the tribal people, the tribal chiefs into our legislature to ensure that all the Liberians have a participator in government because they are being taxed. Just because our indigenous people were being taxed, the hot tax, my grandfather felt they needed to be represented in the government to have a say because in the democratic government, there can be no taxation without representation. You got to be represented if they're going to tax you. So that's my grandfather's contribution to our indigenous people, to have them come in the House of Representatives, to be lawmakers for the people. And he brought all the chiefs who were the official and traditional lawmakers and law enforcers of the traditional villages and towns and everything. They were the chiefs. So he brought all the chiefs into the House of Representatives so they could have a say. And that's how we became a so say one, so say all people. Okay, so you know where the so say one, so say all came from. We brought all the chiefs in and everything Tubman said was so say one, so say all. And Tubman stayed there for 30 years because of that. The people were happy that they could talk in government to represent themselves and be taxed. You see, so that's where all the history comes from. And I got to pay my grandfather honor. If I don't pay my grandfather honor, what am I doing on this damn earth? Nobody pay him honor. I got to pay my grandfather honor. So we have the 20-mile bike race in the name of Benjamin Green Freeman. The Benjamin Green Freeman 20-mile bike race in Monrovia. Award for the winner, $10,000 and a brand new bike of over $400. So that's the competition. Start getting your bikes together now. All of you who want to ride, start practicing because when we come, it'll just kick off like that. We'll come in like, bro, 1 year we announce it, put all the banners up, start registering people. You got your bike, you show it to us, we'll register you right away. You go, you start training, we give you your number. On the day of the race, everybody show up. You better have your number, your bike, your registration tag on, everything, and you line up. We have all the cameras there. Nobody come to cut the line. You didn't register at the line. There will be 3 registration or 4 registrations to show that nobody jumping in the line. So maybe you ride from here to Queensway, that there will be another registration station to make sure everybody starting from there, who started from Monrovia, ended there. Your name didn't start from Monrovia, you're not being on the list in there. So the same people will continue to the next area and continue like that till they get to the 20-mile junction where we have the party. So I'm announcing this right now. Be prepared, Liberian people, for the Benjamin Green Freeman 10K or 25 miles run on your bicycle. A bike race, 25 miles. Winner, 10,000 smackaroos, United States dollars. You heard it here first. Aluta continually. The struggle continues. Now let's get together and support this census. All my people, you know we got from yesterday until the 22nd. Don't let it fail. We got to take care of our country. To hell with these criminals, to hell with these rogues. We got to ensure that the necessities that must be met for our country to progress and advance are advanced successfully. So my people, I'm appealing to all of y'all. You forget about what happened yesterday. You forget about the people that can be paid and all of that. We got how many days? 10 more days now to do the census. Let us stay home. If you don't have to go out, stay home in the morning. Ledges, you get your shit together, okay? You get your shit together. Get the enumerators, the facilitators, and all these people, you get them together, and you be prepared to go out there and do the job that needs to be done for the Republic of Liberia. My lesson is done. Attorney Commander J. Glapohkpa Chesson class is done. I'm out of here. Have a good day. I'll see you Monday. Go to church tomorrow.